darling. It's Jennifer from the patio. Welcome to Scraps and Thoughts Thursday. We have moved our Scraps of Wisdom Wednesday to Scraps and Thoughts on Thursday. Because of my fall schedule, I'm only putting videos up Mondays and Thursdays. There's just too many holidays, and it's just a time that I like to really hone in and spend time with my family. So I will only be here 2 days a week. So anyway, today we are doing, I think this is our third Scraps and Thoughts. First Thursday, but third altogether. And today's little thought is about small joys. And you know, small joys just remind us that ordinary days can be extraordinary. And ordinary journals can be extraordinary too. And so, you know, we're so busy, and, you know, I'm a content creator and a digital creator. And so I'd love to sell my kits. That's amazing. And I love to create them. But at the end of the day, junk journaling is just about just the small things. It's the everyday things that you have and that you can afford, that you can put into a journal. And so I wanted to show you this morning that, you know, I go all over, and I've already, you know, I've told you guys this before, but I really look for a bargain and a deal. And so I wanted to show you some books. I go to Half Price Bookstore, I go to thrift stores, I go to Goodwill, I go to my library, and there's 4 libraries in this area that I frequent because I'm looking for large books like this that they're discarding. They're basically giving away. And I always check the free bin, and I take what I can from there. And so I just want to encourage you that if you're on a budget, which a lot of us are these days, unfortunately, if you're on a budget and you only have $20 a month to maybe spend on some things, you can take $5 to $7 and buy you some really good books and use them for the whole month. And so this month we are creating a tall, skinny journal. I had to move my camera back so everything would fit, so hopefully you can see this. Last week we put it together. Everything in here is just, it's upside down, all it is tracing paper, coffee dyed paper, book pages, and music pages. So that's all that's in here. I made it with a hanging file folder that you can find just about anywhere. And I'm telling you, thrift stores have boxes of these for like $2, $2.99 or whatever. So I buy mine from the thrift store. So anyway, that's what we're doing. And so I wanted to show you just some pricing real quick. So I bought 2 of these. They're a little bit different, not much, but it's a bird book, and it's called The Golden Guide Birds. And look at this. Is that just wonderful? I actually, let me see. Yeah, this is the other one. I have it in my drawer right here. I went ahead and tore all the pages out of this one. So this one was $2.99 and this one was $3.99. Why the price difference? I have no earthly idea. But look at that. Beautiful. Even these pages are pretty awesome to make tags and pockets with, but look at that. They're just lovely to make journals with. So I go to Half Price Bookstore. Always go to the clearance section first. Check it out. See what they have. I always check the big book section first for any atlases, dictionaries, things like that, and that I feel like I need, because I really don't, you know, I don't need anything right now, so I haven't been in a while. But anyway, I had a coupon, and it was 30% off, and so I had 3 and 4, so it was $7 with 30% off. I walked out of there pretty cheap for these 2 books right here. So you can, you know, you can get some really cheap books. Of course, this is an Edith Holden book. She's very popular in the junk journal world. And I'm just, in case you're new here, I'm just showing you. But I bought this for $11.49, and I know it sounds like a lot of money, but for an Edith Holden book, they're pretty rare to find nowadays. People have just kind of scooped them up. And so, but they're beautiful. Look at that. Just the paper itself, the aged look. And then I have another one. This is actually her nature notes of an Edwardian lady. And so I have two more that actually have her handwriting like this, where she wrote in it and then sketched a picture of some things that she had seen. Isn't that lovely? Oh, I love it, love it. But anyway, so I spent, that was splurging, but if you only have 20 a month, this would be one book that you could buy, if you could find it, because I'm telling you, they're hard. I call my half-price bookstore ahead of time and ask them if they have any, and they'll look and see, and then they'll tell me how much, and I either say yay or nay, but it's up to you. Look at this book. This is the World Atlas of Birds. Seriously? I got it. It was $15.98. They had it for, I think that's $5.99 underneath there. It was on the clearance. My husband and I called it clearance. We saw clearance today. $3. Look at these pictures. Look at this. For one, you can use this, which we're actually going to do that today, use some like that. But you can fussy cut these. They have text in them, so that would make just an amazing tag. And then you could cut some of these out and stick them on there. I mean, it's just fun stuff. And the paper is, look at that, so pretty. Thick, thick, thick. So these are really good books, but $3, you can't beat that. I've only tapped into a few pages on that. This was from my local library, and it was a discarded book. You'll see. Discard. It says discard. They were going to get, it was on, on the shelf to get rid of. I think I paid, at ours, I think paperbacks are 50 cents, and all hardbacks are either $1 or $2. So I might have paid $2 at the most for this. But he's an artist in Texas, and look at these. It's the Big Thicket. I love this. I love these, and I've actually used several that are, he does these colors all together with the greens and the blues and the browns. Just lovely. But see, I mean, look what you can get for $2. And then this one I got, I found this at Goodwill, to tell you the honest truth. And it was only, I took the sticker off, but it was $3.99. That's it. And this paper is, we're going to use this today. It's like, I want to say material, but it is. It's very thick. And it has a great feel to it. It's not slick. It's a matte finish, and I love it. So, and it's also big, so you can do, you can make something really big out of one piece. So anyway, I just wanted to show you, if you're new to junk journaling, or even if you don't get out much, and you're, and you just don't want to buy digitals, and you don't, you want to do other things. This is just a different opportunity, to show you what is available and out there. But that's what this journal that we're making today, we're going to make for this month, is all about, is just using things, all books. So I'm going to put splashes of color with books like the bird book. I have an amazing parrot book, and I just bought that maybe a month or two ago, and it is just so pretty. And it's the World Atlas of Parrots. And it's so colorful, and it's amazing. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do. So today, let me show you. I'll pull out one of my other tall and skinny journals. We're going to make this page, this right here, but it's going to be bigger. So I used, let's see, what kit was this? This was, oh, what is the name of that kit? It's something roses. But anyway, it's not a digital. It's actually a scrapbooking kit that I bought from Joann's. But anyway, so this is what we're going to make. So it's going to be this little policy like closure, and we'll put some kind of a string there. But I left this open so that I could have 2 cards. So we'll have one in the back, and then this one goes in between these 2. So that's what we're going to make today. And we're going to make it out of one of those atlas pages. How cool is that? So I've already pulled one out, and I love the height of it, because for the other one I had to go shorter because I only had a 12 by 12. That was as big for that particular kit. I say kit, but that scrapbooking pad, you know, it was a 12 by 12. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to dackle it. Is that the right word? I always say I don't know, but anyway, I'm going to use this this paper cutter here that has just really pretty edges, and so I'm going to start at the top, and I have my camera so high that you're probably going to see my scary self. My scary self. Don't say nothing about my scary self. But anyway, I'm just going to pull this. I just love that. Look, and see, look how strong this is. This is going to be amazing. I love it. Okay, so there's a little piece, and then I'm going to do one, and I'm going to try to get it about 2.5. So that's 1, 2. This will be 2.5. Because I'm going to make that little trimmed edge. I don't know how long I've had this little ruler that cuts this, but it's been at least 20 years, 25. Let me pull that down. And I absolutely love it. Okay, and now I have a piece to use for something else. Okay, so I also use just some regular, I took a lot of time this last week to glue pages together. So I have a whole stack of different book pages that I'm going to use in this journal because I like to have them sturdy, and so I like to glue, you know, 2 together. And so anyway, but you can use a book page and then just turn down the top and the bottom. But the problem with this one was it's just short. And I thought, you know what? I really just want something big. So I saw this and I said, that's what we're going to do. We're going to use that. Okay, so I'm going to pull my camera down just a little bit. So just bear with me because this little thing there. And then that way we'll be a little bit closer. And then you can't see my scariness. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, listen, let me just say hello to you real quick. Hope you're having a fabulous day. I hope that this week's been good to you. I hope your health is good. I hope your mindset is good as well. So today we're talking about small joys, and I just want you to know that, you know, sometimes happiness doesn't always just shout at you, you know, like, oh my God, you know, sometimes it whispers. And I am personally a small joy person. I find my smile, it happens more often at all the little things, you know. It's seriously the thing that gets me up in the morning is a cup of coffee on my patio. It's to watch the birds and the squirrels. And the other day, hummingbirds are migrating south, and so they've been coming through the Houston area, and they even said, hey, you know, put out your feeders and all that. I had the most amazing, I guess it was like 3 days, and got to had an encounter with several of these just beautiful colored hummingbirds. And I was mad, but not mad at myself, because I was sitting on the patio and I didn't have anything out there. I didn't have my phone, didn't have anything. I'm just drinking coffee. And I have a flower pot that has full of blooms right now, and it blooms all the time. It's a Penta, and I love those. and it's pink, and so it's right there to my left. I could really touch it if I stretched my foot out to it. And these hummingbirds came and literally stayed and just put their little beak into, 20 or 30 of those blooms. And I was looking to my right, like, where's my phone? I want to take a picture. And then there's just, my heart just said, no, just enjoy this small joy. Just enjoy it. And it was just a joy that made me smile. So I love to spend time on the patio. That's a small joy to me. It might be, punishment to someone else. But, another thing is, something that makes me smile is just when a stranger says a kind word to me. Or maybe even when a stranger just smiles. I mean, for goodness sake, I thought Texas was the smiling state, the friendly state, but it just seems lately that people are in their own little world and they don't even acknowledge you. They don't keep the door open for you if you're going into a store. They're in a hurry. And so when someone stops to just smile at you, that's a small joy that I take with me. And the other day I was at Sam's Club, and I was complaining in the chip aisle that they used to be 2 for $4, and now they're $4.28. And there was this elderly lady, and I say, I'm not young, that's for sure, but she was definitely probably late 70s. And so her and I got to talking for like 10 minutes, just sitting there talking about the ways of the world. And I left there and I said, you just have a fabulous day, and she wished me the same. But I thought to myself, that was a small joy. What an amazing time. It wasn't anything big. We didn't have dinner together. We didn't have coffee. We're standing in this busy aisle at Sam's, but we were having just a really heart-to-heart conversation. And I loved that. And I thought, that is a small joy. And so I hope you've had a chance to have a small joy this week, just something in your life that brings you a smile to your face and that really just warms your heart. Okay, so let's craft a little bit and then we'll get back to a couple of other thoughts that I have. So this is what we're going to use. So let me get out, let's see. Let's just start from the beginning. I want to make sure that my text is going the right ways, and so it is. And I want it to be tall, but not too tall to where these are not going to serve me well. Okay, I think that looks good, don't you? It's kind of rugged, and I like that. I like it. I'm working on my ruggedness, you guys. Okay, so that's going to be really pretty, just like that. So one thing I really want to do is I want to reinforce the back of this and this, just because I'm going to put a grommet in it. And so that's what we're going to do. And guess what we're going to use? We're going to use some book pages. So I have some book pages already cut out. And they're too big. That's okay. I'll cut it down. And so I want to just put it on the back of this one. So let me mark that just so I can get a little bit of strength there. Well, like a little strength in it. And then let's see, I'm going to have to cut this down just a hair, and it's not going to fit in here. But I think I'm just going to bend it up and cut it, and then I'll unbend it because it's going in the bag. It's more for sturdiness than it is for anything else. So let me just do that. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to take off a quarter. Just a little quarter. Let's see what we have. You can still see it, but honestly, I'm okay with that. If I just hide it, and I'm going to also ink it. So let's just do that. So let's get that down. I'm not going to be real picky. I am not going to be real picky. And another small joy that I just love is today I took my furries. I have my daughter's dog with me. since she had the baby, I told her I would watch her dog for a while till the baby got, you know, a little acclimated to life, and till she got acclimated to having a baby. This is her first one. And if you're a mother, you know it takes a little bit to get acclimated to that, right? Okay, so anyway, I took them for a ride out by the water, and they had a great time, and it was just a small little joy for them. And I like doing that, you know, just breaking up the day. It was actually this morning a little bit. I had a really good day today, just doing, setting my timer, and that'll be for another day. But anyway, I ended up taking them out, and they had a great time. They really did. Okay, so now we need a little piece to go here. So I'm just going to cut that smaller than that. And let me measure that and see after I cut it. Because I need another piece just like it. So two, maybe, it's a little bigger than 2/4. Let's take the top off. It's a little bigger than 2/4. And then I'm going to take, let's do 2 1/4. We just want to give it some stability because, like I said, I'm going to put a grommet in there. Okay, that is pretty darn perfect. And if it sticks up a little bit, I just don't want to impede the fold, but if it sticks up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and ink this just so I can even see, but just for you guys too, so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm going to put some glue here. Probably didn't need to go all the way over there, but put that down. So anyway, I sent a picture to my husband, and I said, I'm taking these little furry babies for a little ride. And he said, oh, that's nice. I said, yeah, I wish you were here, but that day is a-coming. That day is a-coming when he is going to be home, and then I'm going to be wishing he'd take the dogs for a ride while I'm home doing my thing, right? Oh, my goodness. And that's for another thought too, but that's okay. We shall make it all work, right? Oh, this one was a little bit longer. Okay, well, let me pull that up and then get rid of that. This one was longer than the other one. Do I want it to be longer? Okay, well, let's do that then. Okay, so there it is. So I'm going to take some time to ink it real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's all done. I went in and inked, and then I got my rag out just so I could, you know, use it to clean up. So I did the inking on that. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a tall card, Edith Holden, yes, and then we also need a smaller card that's going to go in here, okay? So this one isn't quite as tall, so I think I'm going to make this one. Let's see if this one fits. It fits good. I can always make it a little bit bigger. So I wanted to show you something too. This is a great opportunity for you to use things that you have around the house. I bought this at Sam's. It's a huge box. It has 2 bags of these protein Cheerios in it. And look at that. It's huge. So anyway, I kept it because this would make a good tag. This one, and then these would make really good, you know, kind of what I need today is to, you know, because it's sturdy and it's not too sturdy. I mean, you know, Actually, this probably is a little too sturdy for what I'm going to use today, so I'm just going to use a file folder. But this, you know, but don't save too many. You know, just what I do when I get them is I cut them up, and then I have a bin, and then I pull from that. And so, but anyway, this one was just big enough to where I was like, you know what, I do need to keep this one. So I just wanted to show you, don't throw those away, because it's for projects like what we're doing today that you'll need them. Okay, so here's what I have. I have all of my papers. These are all my double-sided that I have. I just love this text. I love doing different text. I have this dictionary. This is Spanish. I think that's really cool. This is a book. Look at that paper. So I glued 2 pieces together so it'd make it sturdy. I also have German. So I have German writing. These are really thick. This is a book that I got for free. It's it was just a book that has a whole bunch of different stories in it. This is you know what this is? This is actually a crossword puzzle, like a crossword word list. You know, I don't do crosswords because my brain doesn't work that way. But anywho, so I have all of these, and so I can use those as a backing. Now, whether or not they're going to be tall enough, we shall see. So I need something that's going to, you know, fit this card. Now, remember, we're only using anything that's a book. Now, you can use, I mean, this is not like a challenge, but it kind of is, you know. Don't use any digitals. Don't use any scrapbook paper, but just use what you have and use some book pages. And you're going to be so amazed how awesome this is going to turn out. Okay, so we could use this. This one is really thick, and I'm really liking this, but it's just not tall enough. These are a little thinner, these dictionary pages. I could use this one standing up. And you know how cool that looked, just to say Unit 3 Spoken Spanish. Love it. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to use this for a backing for that. And then I need a backing for my second card. So this one's going to go in the top, and then I need one to slide in from the side. So, and it definitely isn't going to be this big. It's going to be about that big. And I might do, I think this one's going to be fine. You're going to see words, so I kind of want the words to be on both sides. So let's just use that. And then this is one of the books. This is a South American, I want to say this is out of that bird book I just showed you. But look how cool. I wanted to use this just to put on the back page, to put down as just something in the background. And then I thought, you know what, I could actually use this as a card. I could put this on the background. I kind of like the butterfly, but I just want something to go on the back. Don't you think that's pretty? I do. I do. Let's just use it. You know why? Because I just want to use something like that today. Okay, so let me just cut this. Excuse my arm. I apologize for that. And I'm going to see if I can get the black in there. If I can't, because I can't use my Tim Holtz because the chomper, it won't fit. This is too tall. I love doing a tall skinny journal. I really, really do. I have several of them, and I just won't part with them. I just love them. And some I haven't even written in. But that's okay. Somewhere, some way, or someone we'll be able to write in it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just cut the black off because I can see that I have some with it and some without. So let me just do that real quick. So let's see, another little small joy. You know, I think it could be anything. It could just be like just a spark that just brightens your day. And that could be anything. You know, my mom is no longer with us. And so the other day, it was probably last week, November is her gone day, her gone month. And so it's coming up. And so, and I don't get, you know, I get, what's the word? I get reflective. I think about, you know, it doesn't make me sad because, you know, we're just all not going to be here forever. And that's why when I hear some people in the comments, you know, talk about when people are like, you know, tearing books. Let me tell you. Okay, let me finish my thought. When some people in the I'm real bad about that. So when some people are in the comments, when, like, if they were to see me tearing these books up, they have a conniption fit. They really would. And I appreciate that because I am an avid book reader. I read, well, I don't read as much now because I do audio more than I do a physical book, but I'm starting to read the classics again. And so that is part of, you know, I just love books. And believe me, I gave away so many books. I'm talking those black bins with the yellow lids, just bins of books to different people because you know, I just love to keep books. And so I kept 2 bookshelves. I have my spiritual books in one that I just wanted to keep, like all my reference books. I study a lot. And so I want to have those. And then I just kept all of the ones that make me smile. You know, I have my P.D. James. I have all of my, let's see, I have the whole set of the Gamache series with Louise Penny. Anyway, I just am an avid book reader. So, you know, so don't think for one minute that I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, don't tear a book up. But I'm going to tell you something. If you go to the library and and they've discarded it or they've put it on a bin to sell and they don't sell after a time, guess where they go? They go in a bin. They go to the dump. And it's the same with you know, Half Price Bookstore and all kind. They have bins that they literally throw books away because people will bring them in and they can't sell them. And maybe they've had torn pages or bug eaten or whatever it may be. And they'll say, well, do you want them back? Because I did that actually. I took some books and they were like, they took some, but they didn't take all of them. And they said, what do you want to do with these? And they said, we'll take them, but we're going to discard them. And I said, no, that's fine. So they're going to do that. Listen, everything we own is going to be in a landfill someday. It is. I mean, it just, and I'm not heartless or anything. I love books. But the reality is that you're taking something and making it something else. You are reinventing. You are taking just an amazing book and then making something even more precious to someone else that they may keep for a really long time. So don't even think twice about, you know, taking a book and tearing it up because you're using it where it wouldn't be used before. And listen, the world is just, you know, we're just moving in that direction. It makes me sad because when my girls were small, we used to go to Barnes & Noble every Friday. Every Friday, my husband and I would take them. They'd go to their book section. My husband would go over to the magazines. I would walk around and go check on them and walk around and go check. But they would just be reading. They'd be over there just read. And that was our way of getting them to love books. And I love books. And, you know, and they both are, you know, big readers now. And I love that. But, you know, look what you can get. I mean, this is so cool. Look at that. It's Spanish. I love it. Okay, anyway. I don't know why I got on that tangent, but hello. Hello. That's what I do. Okay, but I have seen people that they just come unglued when you talk about tearing a book up. Not everybody can afford, you know, all the things at, you know, all the scrapbook paper. Even going to Michael's. Michael's has the cheapest scrapbook paper, scrapbooking paper. For $5, you can get those little, you know, a 12 by 12 pack for $5. And it's usually one-sided. And they're great to start out with and stuff, and to make beautiful things with. But, I mean, maybe you can't even afford $5 a month for that, you know. And you want to create, you want to craft. And it's not, the thing is about junk journaling, and it's about the paper. It's just about what you put in there and how things that you found, tickets, stubs, you know, bags, whatever it is, you know. And so I think that just makes it even more unique and eclectic than, excuse me, I need to take a drink, than using a kit that's all the same. And I will tell you, like I say, I create kits, and I love to create kits. But sometimes I find them boring because it's the same thing. And like you're going to see, we're going to be putting all kinds of different things in and just see how that looks. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox now. So let's see what I'm going to do here. So I kind of want that line right there. So let me get my ruler out. I wish I'm not going to use that one though. I need a straight edge on this one because this is straight. Okay, so let's just rip this off. And it tears like butter. It tears like butter. Okay, I got some off and some on. Okay, so now we're just going to stick. Look how pretty that is too. That's so pretty. Don't want that instead of that. What goes better? This is butterflies too. That's just so pretty, isn't it? It's just so pretty. Okay, so let's do a little inking, and I'll do a little talking because you know what? I am okay with the talking business. I am a talker sometimes. Anyway, I was telling you about my mother. I think that's what happened was I was telling you that, so last week or so, I just had the biggest smile on my face because I had a sweet memory of her when she was younger, and it just made me smile. And it's those little moments that it can just make my whole day. And I think sometimes we have this expectation as individuals and people that the world, things in our life are supposed to have these big wows all the time. Everything should be extraordinary and over the top, and that's the only way we can be happy. And when it all comes down to it, it's just the small joys in life that we always remember, you know. When I was a little girl, you know, do I remember like really big things going on? No, not really. But I will tell you that I remember some of the small things. I remember we have a large family. There's 8 girls and 1 boy. And my dad's sister and brother lived here. And my dad would go out to the bait camp. And us girls would go, and my brother too, but he didn't always participate in the singing and the dress up and the pageants and all of that kind of thing. Remember, I was born in 1964, and so things were different then than they are today. We actually would play dress up. Mom would go to a local thrift store and buy up, you know, wedding dresses, prom dresses, or whatever, just things, gloves, all kinds of stuff. And she would bring them home and put them in a chest for us, and we would play dress up. And it was just the best. But I remember going out and singing in a circle around a fire, and we were sitting on oyster shells. We were at the bait camp, and they had made a fire and took some of the shells away and, you know, put some wood in there and made a fire, and we were all sitting out. and just singing, singing songs. And that is one of my many fond memories as a child. Wasn't big, spectacular. It wasn't Disney World. It wasn't a lot of money. It wasn't fancy food. It was just sitting around a fire with my sisters, singing and enjoying each other's company as little kids. So, there's just, small joys are just precious. They really are. And it's, the tiniest moments often just leave the biggest marks on our hearts. You have to know that, because the big things just are not as, they're memorable, but do they really leave that mark on your heart? Because I've, in some of my past jobs, I was a project manager for a computer company for a while, and I would travel all over. I had clients, and I did the southern region of Texas and Louisiana. Traveled all the time, ate at fancy restaurants, took my clients out to dinner, blah, blah, blah. And boring to me, honestly, which is why I only worked there for a short 3 to 5 years. But that doesn't mean anything to me. So it's like, those kind of things didn't mean anything to me. But I do remember one trip that we were on a plane, and I was young, and I had not flown in a small plane before, so I was a little nervous. And we were all sitting in a circle, because in this plane, I don't know why, but we were not in our seats. We were like in a circle seats. But anyway, and so I just remember them looking at me and going and touching their ears, like, and I'm like, what? And they're like, and then they would grab their nose and then like for me to blow, and because the plane, it's loud when you're on one of those little prop planes. And so I was like, oh, and so I blew, took my fingers, closed up my nostrils and blew out through my nose. And of course, it's blocked. So what it does is it blows your ears so that you can hear again. And I realized that I had been literally shouting at these poor people. But see, it's that little thing, that small little joy, but it's just those kind of things that we remember more than we do other things, it's, and I don't know, tell me what you think. This is just my thoughts. These are not the world's thoughts, but these are just my thoughts. And, how do you feel? Do you feel like that the small things in life are the most memorable to you, that they leave a mark on your heart, that it leaves you with a smile? I don't know about you, but a kid's laughter is the most contagious thing. When my little grandson and granddaughter start giggling and laughing, it just makes me, I absolutely love it. And okay, let me look here, because I don't want to mess up. But I absolutely love it, and I think it's just precious. And it gets Nana to laughing too, and we just have the best time together. But so it's just those little things, those little times that we have together that mean the most. And I will tell you that it's the most memorable to my granddaughters, my grandchildren, and my daughters. It's the small things in life. I don't know why that just doesn't look center. I mean, it looks like it's going that way. You know what, nope, I can't, because it's too tall. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Let me see if it fits. Oh my goodness, it is almost perfect. That looks so good. Okay. And we're going to have to put a tab or something so we can pull that out. Okay, so let's get our stuff. Wait, we have one more to do. We're going to do this one, and then we'll put it all together, and then that will be our day today. So this one is going to go in here. No. This is going to go back here. So that one can be just the size that it is. And I'm going to put this one down. Okay, and I've inked and inked. Okay, so we're good all there. So what do we think we need? This one is, I'm going to do 4.5. How about that? Let's do it. 4.5. And I like the little butterflies. This page is not even. I'm going to have to cut some of that. I'm talking to myself, you guys. I'm talking to myself. See, it wasn't even. That's okay. That's okay. So I need something that's 4.5. This one will kind of fit in there. I love the torn edge on this, especially when you add ink to it. I'm liking it. Get in there. Okay, 4.5. 4.5. And this text is not going to be centered, and I'm okay with that. Oh, I did it the exact same size. That's okay. I just need it for a backing, so that's okay. I'm going to take this little bit of edge off then, since I don't need it for, let's see, how tall is this? Almost to the edge. Okay, so let me just take a little bit off the bottom. And then let me take this off the edge. Okay. And then let me see how much more I need to cut. I can cut it. I sure can. I'm going to cut it just like this. I'm going to do it just a little bit smaller. Okay, let's see what we have, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we have. We have this, and that looks good. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that down. I'm going to glue this. I am, and I'm just going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of the old UHU glue. I had to buy the blue one this time because it was cheaper. That's the thing. I mean, I might start using Elmer's glue, you know. I mean, I know that Natasha with Treasure Book, she uses Elmer's glue. And her projects look great. So, I may have to do that. I just like fast drying glue, like art glitter glue and stuff. And I like Lineco. It's not that expensive because you get a huge bottle. But I can do both. I can do both. One on the inside and one on the outside. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. I know I have my bone folder around here. That just gives it some stability, so then even when you pull it out, it's gonna have to look nice. You can kind of see just, nope, that was glue. Okay. The only thing is I am gonna cut this little piece off because when I pull it out, you're gonna be able to see that, so. And you could actually put some coffee dyed paper or something, and you know, tea stained paper or something on the back so that you can write on it. But I'm just using book page because I can write on book page. I don't have any problems writing on that and still being able to see. I just write it an angle and do it like this, and then that way I can still see. Okay, so there's that. There's this. We got those. This is going to go in the back, and then this, we need to put our grommets in. Yes, we do. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video. It is, you know, and I know a lot of you don't even stay to watch even 15 minutes. But all of my statistics for YouTube, they're like, nope, my average is 14 minutes. That is not good. So obviously I am not doing something right, ladies and gentlemen. If people are only staying for 14 minutes, I am not keeping your attention. So I apologize for that, but not really, because I just am doing what I want to do. And if people want to be here, I love it. And if you don't, that's okay. It really is okay, because I know that not everybody is for everybody, and I appreciate that. But it is, it just is going to hurt the algorithm, but it is what it is. It is what it is, and that's okay. I'm not in it for that. Okay, so I'm going to put, this is kind of thick, so I don't think I'll be able to put a backing on it, so I'm just going to put a grommet. And then we're going to put it all together on the page, and that will be our first page. That's going to be fun. We're doing so good. We're doing so good. Okay. And then we just put it in like this. I'm getting stronger because I've been trying to do a little bit of weight stuff. But do you guys, what do you do for exercise? I mean, that's a whole nother subject, but because I feel like it's so important, especially since I'm going to be retiring pretty soon. I am semi-retired now. That I need to get, make sure I'm exercising and that my health is good. And I think it was down like this. It's kind of, I didn't have that little extra, so I'm going to do it back up at the top like that. Which means it's going to be a little bit higher. But you know what? That's okay. Okay, I need to drink water. That's what I'm trying to do. I find when I'm crafting, I don't drink as much, so I put a timer on. Every hour, I have to drink this little, I think this is an 8-ounce glass, but I drink 8 ounces of water. Not that you wanted to know that, but I thought I'd tell you. I just thought that I would share with you. Okay, so I don't want it there. I don't know what I want for the first page. I don't even know if I want it there. Why not? Let's just do it. Okay, so we're going to stick this down just to have a back, so it's just not plain. And then we can put this down. Okay. So let me just put a little bit of inky ink on this. Just a little bit of inky ink. And I tell you, another little small joy is that little grandbaby of mine. Oh my goodness, he is adorable. Woo! I tell you what, he is just so cute. And I just love spending time with him. And he loves his Nana already. He already knows who I am. And he just is calm. And I love it. Okay. I think I'm going to, it'll make the page thicker. So I'm just going to use Lineco with that. Because that UHU glue does make your page thicker. It just hardens it. So, and this is already 110-pound paper, and that is a lot. So let's just do this. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be making a tall skinny journal with book pages of any sort. So, and you're going to see we're going to do just splashes of color, and we're just going to do all kinds of fun things with maps and atlases. And so I just encourage you, get all your stuff out, and let's just get going on this and just enjoy and doing something a little bit different than what we've done in the past. I am ready for different. I am ready for different. Okay, I love that just down. And I know you're not going to be able to see it, and I really did like that. But it's okay. It's okay. So now we're going to put this down. And this one is going to slide in like this. And they're going to stick out because they are, they're not going to be able to be, let me see what the center is just so I can, Like if it goes in like this. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit. Okay, that's okay. That's good. That's what I want. I just wanted to kind of gauge and see where to put it over here. Okay, so I'm going to put a big amount of glue on the back of this because I want it to stick down and be sturdy. So I'm doing at least a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of glue. Okay. I'm going to bring it to me so I can see. And then I'm just going to do it about right there, yeah. Might could go up just a hair, but that's okay. Okay, so we have that down, so that's nice and sturdy. We have this reinforced. We put a grommet in there, and then we're going to do the same for this side. So I'm just going to put quite a bit of glue. Put it at that little top thing. Because remember, our card is not as big as this anyway, so we can, you know, we can do it a little bit. And then I like to hold it down and then make sure that it's as tight as it can and it doesn't bow. Okay. Sometime I've done them and these things have just kind of popped up. It's like, no, I don't like that. Okay, so I like that. That looks good. I'm going to kind of bend this. Now we need to ink the back of that, and I know you guys don't care about the ink while I'm on here. You're like, ink later, and I'm like, I don't want to because I want to ink now, so it'll be over and done with. So that's what we're doing. But anyway, get all your books out. Pull some pages out, some fun things that you want to do. We're going to put a tab right there. Let me see what fun, colorful tab we have. This is just going to be a fun one. Let me see what I have. I saw a green one. Green? No, that one's not thick enough. I need it to be thick. Some of these I just cut, like when I have offcuts or whatever, I'll just cut a whole bunch. But I do have a green one in here that's not that thick. I saw a sparkly green one. There it is. We're going to do that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's do that. So we'll fold that in half. We're going to put a little piece of small joy in today, right? That's what this is going to be. Just a little bit of small joy. I hope that you guys are enjoying this, you know, these little thoughts that I have and just incorporating it into the fun journaling, you know, because, you know, we're more than just journalers. We're people just trying to, you know, make a way, and it's fun to just share our thoughts. And I'd love to hear your comments. What do you think? Are you enjoying it? If, you know, if not, tell me. I'm a big girl. I mean, tell me if it's not something that you're interested in. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop. It just means that I'd really like to know. Like, well, and if not, how come? You know, like, I know some people are really serious. Like, they're just, you know, I just want to go watch somebody and learn something and then move on. And I get that. I think I'm more of a people, you know, let's build a relationship more. Not a relation, you know what I mean? Just, I enjoy that camaraderie and, you know, responding back to your text or your comments. And I really like that. And I wanted to give a shout out, and I know it's late in the game and there's probably not that many people watching this far, but if you are, I want to give a shout out to my my membership tier. I have 3 so far, and I love that. And so I just want to say thank you to Lori, Maria, Amen T, and Mary Beth. Thank you so much for believing in me and just being a member on my Ko-fi shop. I really, really appreciate you. Okay, so there is that. And you're not even going to know that there's another one underneath there, right? Actually, this one might, was that too big for this? Yeah, because I made it bigger. Okay, let's see. This is going to go back here. Now that I have the little dackle, it's going to be a little bit harder to get the card in. But that's okay. I like it. I just want to make sure that it's going to go. Yeah, you're going to see it outside of the other, which is what I wanted to make sure. And then this one's going to go here. So you're going to see that one. And so we'll put a tab maybe up here. Right? Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Let me put the pin in my glue. Let me get my corner. I need to round these corners because they just look dull to me. I can't help myself. The other ones can stay square, but this, I needed it to be, I need those to be round. And guess what? Yes, I know I have to ink, so let me do it to the side so that those little bits don't. I just want you to see the end product too, because sometimes, you know, I don't always show you the end product. Cute, cute. Okay. And I will write on the back of this and on the back of the other one. Okay, so here, let's get this out again and let's see what we have. Let's do just a fun contrasting color. I don't have a whole lot. I have mostly brown and white and blue. I don't know if blue is that contrasting. I mean, it is, but it doesn't really go. But I know black does. And even brown would have gone too. Maybe I'll just do the brown. Let's just do the brown. Let's just do the brown. And then, of course, I have my little number stamps, and I'll stamp a number on the edge of that. But I don't have to do that now because, you know, we're trying to get going here. And I'm hoping that we are not quite at an hour, although we have shared quite a bit of stuff today, and I've really enjoyed myself. This is a small joy for me. I don't know about you, but even just doing them 2 times a week, it's just a small joy. It makes me very happy, and I really enjoy doing this. So I hope that this is a small joy for you. Just coming on here and just being a part of the community, and I'm just enjoying it. So, okay, so let's get the glues out. So this is going to go like that. I don't want to cover that up too much, but I'm thinking about right there. What say you? Oop. What say you? Might help if you took the pin out, Jen. Okay. Kind of having a basic idea where I want it. I'm going to push it in just to... Ah! Stop. Okay. Thank you. I don't know why it was catching on the back side. Covering up my purple flower. That's all right. Okay. Get that stuck down. Okay. We're there. We are there, ladies and gentlemen. Now all we have to do is just put something. Look how cute that is. That's going to be nice. Real nice. Okay. And so now we just need some twine of some sort or some ribbon. Let's see what I have. I do have ribbon, but it's not long enough. But I do have more, that's for sure. I have a... Nope. I must get out my large jar. let me see what we have here. I have some pretty green sari silk. Let's see. I love that green. So pretty. Maybe I should use pink. That would throw it off a little bit, wouldn't it? Oh, that was a tied together one. I don't know. I kind of like the green. Yep, I like green. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So let's just put this in. Put this over here. Yeah, that's the thing about a tall, skinny journal is everything changes because now you're going up and you're not going this way. So, I mean, that's a lot of space to have to fill, but it's easy. It's you can definitely do it, and we're gonna have fun making just all kinds of things to fill them. So I like it. It's gonna be a little thick with that, but you know what? We're just gonna work with it for now. Okay. And I'm going to have a closure on it, so, you know, like a sari silk closure. So, you know, if it's full, which I know it's going to be, you know, I'll have like a tie on it, so it'll flatten it down, see, even like that. So we are good to go. Well, you're a small joy to me, and I just want to thank you for coming and hanging out with me on this Thursday for Scraps of Thoughts. And I had a great time, and you know, I think that this little tall, skinny journal thing is going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you're crafting along with me and building one. And just get you a couple of pages. Get you some newspaper if you don't even. Get you magazine papers. Fold them in half. And, you know, put them in a journal. You know, if you have some embroidery thread, you could use that to make your binding. It's really, it really is, you know, can be done. It's simple. So anyway, thanks for coming. I love you guys, and I appreciate you. And remember, you only know what you know until you know something different. Bye-bye.